Welcome to RSEHS Academy. Learning module on task-based risk assessment process, that is TBRA. Please note that the information in this video is general and for safety awareness only. You have to follow your company guidelines. Now the question comes that why to perform risk assessment? Manufacturing and construction activities involve numerous numbers of routine and non-routine tasks. And to conduct each task in a safe manner, it is necessary that risk involved in a specific task is controlled and brought down to the acceptable level. Any activity having high severity with low probability or having low severity with high probability is having same risk. Means R equal to E into S into P. Hence, it is necessary that both are given same attention for risk control. Now let's understand some definitions. What is hazard? Anything that has the potential to cause harm. What is risk? The likelihood that someone will be harmed. What is severity? Possible serious injury, definite critical injury. What is probability? The practical chance that it will happen. Finally, hazard means exposure and severity. Let us see this scenario 1. What can happen if TBRA is not done? An open tank was to be lifted and shifted with the help of a crane to the nearby parked truck trailer from the tank foundation. Crane reached the job site and slings were fixed to the tank for lifting. But during this activity, suddenly heavy rain started and continued whole day and night. Hence, the job was postponed to the next day. Next day, the crew reached to the job site as the job was already made ready previous day to lift. Hence, the crew started the lifting and shifting job of the tank next day. While lifting the tank, the crane got imbalanced. The tank started swinging and got detached from the crane and fell down to the floor. Let us understand what went wrong. Task-based risk assessment was not done. The tank got full with rainwater previous night and it was not checked before lifting and its weight became more than the crane's capacity. Water also put dynamic jolt while lifting. Tank was not having any drain point which could have prevented the incident if left open. Means TBRA could have identified such hazards and the incident could have been prevented. Now let us understand what is risk. Risk is probability of any hazard to cause damage. In terms of formula, it is exposure to the hazard multiplied by severity of hazard and multiplied by probability to cause damage. Let us take one example. A person standing under a suspended or hanging load lifted by a crane is under risk of serious injury if the crane fails and load falls on the person. Here the exposure to the suspended or hanging load E, severity of injury S and probability of crane failure is P are considered to calculate the risk R of injury. Examples of hazards and risk. Task is changing rotary cutter. Hazard is sharp edges of cutter blades. Risk is cut injury by the blades. Another task is MCC switching. Hazard is arc flash and risk is burn injury by arc flash. Let us understand the TBRA process. A process whereby hazards present in a workplace are identified, evaluated and corrective actions is prioritized in order to eliminate or reduce risk to the acceptable level. and to be used for personal safety also. TBRA is not for tasks where the hazards risks are obvious and well known and clearly understood. Intended to be used to classify hazards or risks associated with process safety management, which is followed by PHA, process hazard analysis. Benefits and strengths of TBRA: eliminates most serious hazards, fulfill regulatory and policy requirements, involves teams from all levels or in organization, focus on the actual work activities, improve awareness of hazards and or identify new ones, ensure that the correct control measures are in place and reflected in proper job procedures, continuously improve safety management systems and conditions of work, and reduces safety incidents. When is it TBRA required? TBRA is required when proper safety procedures are not in place, existing procedures are not adequate, when new job, task, chemical and or machine has been introduced, new or different people doing the task, change in specific regulatory standard or company policy, unplanned work, to continue work after an incident or injury has occurred, and result of medical surveillance. When is it TBRA required? Let us go through few examples. Must do TBRA for high pressure cleaning, confined space entry, line break, working at height, deviations from safety procedure and SOP, standard operating procedures, rigging and hoisting, hot work involving flames and sparks, new task or new job, etc. And TBRA is suggested to do if details of task are not known, dangerous chemicals involved, other tasks in same area or conflicting tasks, contractor work, task takes more than 2 hours, task done during night, task with more than one person, no barricaded area, and not familiar with the job. TBRA is not required when for tasks where the hazards and risks are obvious and well known and clearly understood. Typically, this is the case of job for which we have SOP, standard operating procedures. How TBRA can help prevent incidents? Risk assessment is a systematic and structured process whereby hazards present in a workplace or arising from workplace activities are identified, risks are evaluated, and protective and preventive measures, including procedures and practices, are put in place to reduce risk to the acceptable level. By performing risk assessment, we can identify the controls required for bringing the risk down up to the acceptable levels and thereby making the task safer. Here, point to note is that always remember the principle of elimination, segregation, enclosures and PPEs, that is, give a thought whether the task can be eliminated or substituted by less hazardous approach. How TBRA is performed? Risk assessment involves systematic identification and assessment of hazards with respect to their potential to cause harm along with its probability. The risk analysis is based on the following 7 steps. Step 1. Description of task and subtask. Step 2. Identification of people exposed. Step 3. Identification of hazards. Step 4. Assessment of the initial risk. Step 5. Description of the control measures. Step 6. Assessment of the actual risk. And finally, Step 7. Assigning priority to the measure. Preparing for TBRA. Risk assessment is best done by a group of people having multidisciplinary participation. Generally, 5 to 6 is a good number. Higher the work experience of participants, better will be the quality of risk assessment. Involvement of the executing agency is highly expected, including contractor supervisors and workers. It is recommended to involve experts for those jobs, specific equipment or specific chemicals involved. Gather information about the job. First, gather information about the job such as what is the job, where is it to be done, when and how long is it to be done, how is the job to be done, who all will be doing the job and what are their skill levels, what equipment and tools are required for the job, with whom all interactions and communication is required and what are their responsibilities in the execution of the job, what area preparation is required, and is job procedures available with all persons involved or anyone is new to the job. Step 1 of the TBRA process, that is description of task and subtask. Identify task and subtask. Define boundaries of the task. Breakup should be able to identify hazards in the task. Keep in mind that skill level of persons carrying out the job. What is a hazard for one skill level may not be a hazard for another skill level. A job site visit is must. Job site considerations should be part of the risk assessment. The supervisor responsible for the work should write the steps. Don't break it into very minute activities. Example, operator goes and pick up a valve key. At the same time, don't make it too big in scope. Example, handover pump to maintenance. Now, list of that. Identify them as per the table. Task and subtask description. Subtask duration per day. Right, frequency, location, safety procedure, standard operating procedure, used equipment, tools, materials, objects that are used, that is mass, shape, distance, used processes, that is air, electricity, water, nitrogen, used substances, chemicals, use MSDS, company standard or national regulation, checks and emergency measures. Step 2 of the TBRA process, that is identification of people exposed. Identify people exposed means person executing the job, other people involved, person whom run a higher risk, handicapped, aged, pregnant, young mother, space without or with inadequate ventilation, maintenance personnel, bed health and medication. Competency of the person executing the task, that is training and experience. Different people may have different risks in the same job. Example, aged person may have higher risk compared to young person for specific hazards. Step 3 of TBRA process, that is identification of hazards. Identify the hazards. All hazards related to physical, chemical, ergonomic, biological and environmental. All hazards related to action means behavior of the person. Tools being used means nip points, projectiles, weight and size of the tools, etc. Equipment involved means electrical, pneumatic, hydraulic, high pressure, etc. Chemical involved means flammable, corrosive, toxic, etc. Energy involved means pressure, temperature, kinetic energy, electrical, etc. Work location orientation means at height, slippery, congested, confined space, etc. And administrative action, that is communication gap, not following SOP, etc. Let us take scenario 2. What can happen if all hazards are not identified? Missed identifying hidden hazards, that is wild animals grazing the grass field and suddenly saw an object in the grass before crossing that area. They are assessing what is it, tiger or deer. In this process they missed other hidden hazards of deep pit and tiger at their backside. TBRA team shall have the vision to identify hidden hazards around the job area also. PBRA process. Step 4. Assessment of risk. Assess initial risk. Assess the initial risk. This assessment will show what the real level of risk is that we want to manage via all controls, that is procedures, rules, tools and equipment, PPE, etc. Risk is exposure multiplied by severity multiplied by probability. Exposure. The frequency of exposure indicates how often a dangerous situation can arise. It could be exposure to a toxic chemical or the working and handling of a dangerous machine. Exposure and factors. Very rarely less than 1 per year. Factor can be 0.5. Rarely few times per year. Factor will be 1. Sometimes 1 to 2 times per month. Factor will be 2. Now and then 1 per week. Factor will be 3. Frequently means daily. Factor will be 6. And continuous more than 2 times per day. Factor will be 10. For example, lifting a load greater than 25 kg might not be very risky if done once, but multiply this risk by numerous employees making several lifts per day and you gain a different risk. Severity. The apparent effect indicates the seriousness of the arising situation. Severity and factors. Minor injury without time, work restriction, that is first aid case. Factors will be 1. Minor injury with time, work restriction, medical treatment case, restricted work day case. Factor will be 4. Serious irreversible effect, handicap, lost workday case. Factors will be 7. Critical single fatality immediately or afterwards. Factor will be 15. Disaster, multiple fatalities immediately or afterwards. Factor will be 40. For the initial risk, don't take the effect of PPE or any other control measures or procedures in evaluating the severity of a certain event equal to the worst case scenario. For the actual risk, take into account the control measures taken determining the realistic maximum severity factor equal to practical case scenario. Probability. The probability indicates how big the chances are that effect as defined in the severity table might indeed occur. This is a subjective judgment, the most difficult assessment to make. Probability and factors. Virtually impossible, once in lifetime, only theoretical case. Factor will be 0.2. Conceivable but improbable, once in a career, that is 1 in 20 years. Factor will be 0.5. Improbable, borderline case, that is 1 in 10 year. Factor will be 1. Usual, one can think of an unusual scenario, that is 1 in 3 years. Factor will be 3. Possible, once every 6 months. Factor will be 6. To be expected, once per week. Factor will be 10. For the initial risk, don't take the effect of PPE and technical precautions, that is engineering controls, into account. For the actual risk, take the effect of PPE, SOPs and technical precautions into account. As a guideline, if you can think of a scenario where the considered effect will occur, the probability factor typically equal to 3. Examples of existing control measures. Safety interlocks, machine guarding, special tools and equipment, wearing PPE, permit to work, and job instructions. Criteria for acceptability of risk. After calculating the risk score R, check the priority for the action. If R is less than 20, the risk is acceptable and job can be started with existing control measures. Here it is given risk score R, interpretations and priority for the measure to be taken. If risk is less than 20, more limited, risk acceptable, priority will be 4. If risk score is between 20 and 70, measure required in 6 months, priority will be 3rd. If risk score is between 70 and 200, immediate measures required, priority will be second. If risk score is more than 200, stop work until measures are taken, priority will be first. If S equal to or more than 4 additional measures are highly recommended. If no action is taken, the reason should be documented. TBRA process step 5, description of control measures. If the risk score is more than 20, then additional control measures are required to be taken. To eliminate or minimize the risk, measures are proposed that should be implemented in a planned manner. Both routine and non-routine measures need to be listed. When defining these measures, the prevention hierarchy needs to be taken into account. First, try to eliminate the risk. Highest is given to elimination. Hierarchy of control measures. First is elimination, second is substitution, third is engineering control, fourth is administrative control, and fifth is personal protective equipment. During TBRA process, actual and residual risk if comes, then task can be done safely or need further risk reduction for the work. Let us take scenario 3. What can happen if TBR is not adequately done? Wild animals checking the presence of crocodile, that is hazard, before crossing the river, but missed to envisage the hidden hazard and got trapped. TBRA team shall have vision to see the hidden hazards also during risk assessment process. Example of elimination. First is lockout equipment. Second, install blind blank. Third is modify process to eliminate need for hazardous activity, that is auto sampling. And fourth is fully automate process. Example of substitution. Use alternate materials. Example, lower flash point. Use tools instead, handling with bare hands. Use trolley and trucks instead of carrying by hand. Automate process. Example of engineering controls. Installing interlocks, modifying equipment, use special tools for the job, redesign workplace layout, install noise enclosure, and machine guarding. Example of administrative controls. Implementing permit to work system, barricading area, job rotating to reduce fatigue, following job procedures or work instructions, working in pairs, testing for hazardous atmosphere. Example of PPEs: wearing safety helmet, wearing Kevlar gloves, wearing Nomex coverall, wearing respirator. TBRA process step 6, assessment of the actual risk. Assess the actual risk. Now that we know the measures, example, procedure, rules, tools, equipment, PP, etc., which are in place, assess the actual risk. If needed, additional measures need to be defined until the actual risk is brought to less than 20. Recording the initial and actual risk into this format, which starts with description of task, risk assessment number, description of subtask, and rating of initial risk, measures taken, then actual risk, then priority, and the responsibility to be mentioned with risk category is more than 4. Step 7, TBRA process. Assigning priorities to the measure. Classify into risk categories. Determine risk category after calculating the hazard score, thereby determining which possible urgent action is to be taken. Risk score, interpretation, and priority for the measures to be taken. If the risk score is less than 20, very limited risk, it is acceptable, and priority will be 4. If the risk score is between 20 and 70, measures required in 6 months, and priority will be 3. If the risk score is between 70 and 200, immediate measures required and priority will be 2. If the risk score is more than 200, stop work until measures are taken and priority will be 1. Higher the risk, higher the priority. Remember, prevention is better than cure. Work safely and be safe. Thank you for watching. Please note that the information in this video is general and for safety awareness only. You have to follow your company guidelines.